Welcome to Michelle's Mystic Corner. Today we are talking about releasing and letting go, which is kind of a nice subject to talk about, seeing as we are in the year see here, we are in a world year of 9, which is also about endings and letting go. So there's some synchronicity for you. And so today I want to discuss what it means. We're going to start with what it means to release and let go. This is a process of emotional and mental healing where you consciously release negative emotions, past hurts, attachments, and this is to allow for personal growth and inner peace. Now, I cheated and I found that on the internet. So the main thing is to focus your awareness on the present moment. So that is a big thing when it comes to releasing and letting go. And we're going to get into that. Okay. I have lots of notes, so please forgive me as I move around here. Okay. So some of the benefits to releasing and letting go is forgiveness. That's a huge one. When you release some of those past hurts, you are forgiving. And forgiveness does not necessarily mean going back and being best friends with someone who hurt you. That's not what forgiveness is about. Forgiveness is about letting go of the past hurt, letting go of the anger, the resentment, and walking forward because it's more for you and your benefit than for anybody else. So forgiveness is a big thing. Mindfulness. I love mindfulness. So I decided to look up the meaning of mindfulness because that is a huge topic. And you can do video upon video on mindfulness, let me tell you. So, mindfulness, a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations, used as a therapeutic technique. I love that, right? Focusing your awareness on the present moment. And I know that can be hard. Um, some other things that is really beneficial for releasing and letting go is self-compassion. I know that I am at times my own worst enemy, and that is so bad, because I'm supposed to be my own best friend, right? See, I've even got the crown to prove that I have to be my own best friend. So, where did I leave off? I'm so sorry. And then there's acceptance. Acceptance is a huge thing because it's not always about accepting, when some people think of acceptance, they think of accepting something that they just absolutely do not. However, what you want to really accept is that you cannot control the outcome, only the destination to the outcome. And there was another one. Give me just a moment. Poof, it just went away. See what happens when you don't put it down? Darn it. Okay. You have to accept that you cannot change what is happening. You can only work with what is happening. You can change it, but it's going to happen. So you have to work within your parameters, and you have to accept the fact that you do not always get the outcome that you are desiring. And that can be a hard acceptance. And these things are huge. The next one is breath work, which is another form of mindfulness. But if you do that, that'll help you to release and let go. But why do you even want to release and let go? Well, I'll tell you why. It reduces a lot of stress and anxiety. When you carry stress and anxiety, it can come out in so many different ways, including in physical ways that you would have never have thought you would go through. I have been through so much stress that I have been through some serious issues in my life from stress. So it does help to release that, or at least reduce it, I should say. Um, another benefit is it promotes mental clarity. It gives you a moment, it gives you time to sit back and be, okay, I was really upset. Now I'm able to think again. Because sometimes when you don't, you take action on things that you're like, oh, I should not have done that or said that in that moment. Yeah, mental clarity can really help to, it can really help to come together and not cause arguments or friction. That's emo fosters emotional freedom. So when you release and let go, you are allowing yourself and allowing your emotions the freedom they need to come out, maybe to go away. And sometimes you have to release and let go several times a day, and we're going to discuss how you can do that. Um, it encourages personal growth. When you take the time to release and let go, you are allowing yourself to get rid of things that you no longer need, to allow for things to come in that are positive, that are energetic, and that are helpful. And it'll help you grow, not just as a person for your own self, but for other people as well. People will look at you and go, that person has changed. There's something different about them. And so there's also the increase in your presence. Again, it's about being in the now, in the moment. When you dwell in the past and you live in the past, you're carrying around a hurt that stops you from living in the now, stops you from living in the moment fully, completely, being able to enjoy being in the moment with other people. It improves the relationships that way. So, what is letting go? Well, letting go is accepting reality and focusing on the present. But let me tell you what it is not. It is not forgetting. It is not pretending something didn't happen. It's not admitting that you were wrong or right. And it's not giving up on your goals. Okay, that's huge right there. You've got to remember that when you're letting go, when you're releasing, you're not giving up on your goals. Sometimes you're just taking that mental clarity moment. And that can be very important for people. Okay, I'm going to check out some of my notes here. So here's how I have found, and this is also an act of self-care. When you release and let go, you are doing some self-care for yourself because oh, it is huge. You can feel the stress go. You can feel the anxiety starting to go. And it may only be just a little bit, but that little bit can be very helpful. So how it works, you need to acknowledge and release. You need to recognize painful thoughts or feelings without dwelling and just allow them to melt away. And then you need to make space. So this is by releasing the old, you create room for healing, joy, and new beginnings. And then there's embrace the excuse me, impermanence. You need to find peace in the constant change of life. And that's really a hard thing to do because life is constantly changing. So you need to make peace with that. And because I know that, you take one step and you're like, okay, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing, and life changes and you fall backwards. What now? But find peace in that because everything does happen for a reason. Okay, excuse me. I need to take a sip. So I also did have, leave it to me, a releasing spell. Of course, my cauldron. So for this one, finding stones in my cauldron, of course. I'm going to do a spell. I'm going to show everyone how I would do it. So I do not have a bay leaf. So in its place, I'm using a cinnamon stick. And I'm just going to shave some cinnamon in there. And then I'm just going to leave the stick in there. Okay, I have vervain. Just going to throw that in there just a little bit. And then I add a cedar. So I'm using the meadow sweet because it is similar. Some of the bark is very similar to the cedar. So we're going to throw that in there. Okay. Now, I know some of these things sound crazy, but they have the properties that helps to get this going. So we're going to throw in some sea salt, just a pinch. Okay. And we're going to throw in some coffee grounds. Oh, cinnamon and coffee. Now, on a piece of paper, I have written down some of the things that I myself would like to release, such as negative attitude. I get that quite often, self-doubt, and pride that gets in the way of doing things. Like my ego shows up. So I've written that down on this piece of paper. What I did not bring with me is a lighter. So we're just going to fake it and go with it. So what I would do is I'd take this paper and I'm going to stick it in here and I would light it. Okay. And all the ashes are going to go in with all of these spices and herbs that I have in here that I would stir with my cinnamon stick. Okay. Now cinnamon just gives a a boost, an oomph to any spell because cinnamon is it's a booster. Okay, after it's all burned down and it's ash, I let it cool down. And then as it's cooling down, I take a little more coffee and I'm going to say, on this day at this hour, I call upon the ancient powers, release these things from my life, burn them up and take flight. Begone the things I release from me, as I will, so mote it be. And then when all the ashes are done, I will take them off of my property and throw them into the air, into the wind, and let the element of breath, take this away from me. Other people might bury it in their yard. I know a few who just flush it down the toilet. There's a few different things you can do for this. So let me put my cauldron back. Cannot believe I forgot my lighter. How crazy is that? Okay, let me check my. Yes, be aware of your actions. Accept what it is and take action to improve. And for every action, there is an equal or greater reaction. That is so true. That is so true. Ha ha! Look at there. I got a lighter. Okay. So we're going to just keeping it in the cauldron helps because then the flame doesn't get high, which is really important. It's also important to have a fireproof container, such as what I have, and that'll take a while to get it all burned down. So during the show, I'll just let it burn. There. All right. Yay, now we're cooking. I use this for everything. I will put incense in it, my sage. I love my little cauldron. And that is a releasing spell. Okay, let's see here. So another thing that I have found that I was going to mention is we are in a world year of 9, which is endings, getting ready for new beginnings, which is going to be next show next Saturday. And so it's very appropriate that at this point you release anything negative that you want to release and just let it burn away, because next year, which is not far away, it's about new beginnings. So now is the time to release any negativity that you want to get rid of and release that in this year, because this is the 9 year. This is the year to do this. And it's almost over. We're in December already. Goodness. Now, if anybody has any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. I don't see a whole lot going on in the chat. And I'm so sorry, but I have been pretty sick the last couple of weeks. So I haven't been around or doing videos. But that is okay because I am back and I am better. So let's talk about, we're going to take a moment here to talk about what's coming up. So tomorrow, I don't know if Dax is still.
I'm still around.
Yay!
Hi,
Yay!
Michelle. It's so good to have you back on camera again.
Yes, I feel like I've been gone forever. So if you would like to buy us a cup of coffee, you can go to tarotbiz.com/coffee. Anybody that does do a cup of coffee will get an in-depth reading and will get called up right away for your reading. We'll skip everybody else. So feel free to
Uh,
buy us a cup of coffee.
yeah. So a lot of stuff coming up on the network. Uh, Tomorrow we're doing Lead Magnets 101, creating a free tarot guide to grow your list. We're talking about email lists. And
Oh,
I've got a PDF handout with a bunch of ideas to get you started. So be sure to tune in tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then next weekend, so you're doing the letting go, and now it's planning for the new year. We're going into 2026, a world year of 1, the beginning of a whole brand new 9-year cycle, actually. And this is year 1. And I've got some really good feelings about 2026, and
yes.
things are going to be great. So be sure to tune in a week from today, next Saturday, for how to plan for the new year. Michelle have great stuff for you. And that Sunday, we're going to be doing our annual Tarot and Tinsel show our winter solstice and holiday show. And
Ooh, nice.
to finish up December, the last weekend, the 27th, is of course Crown Share Saturday.
And I
And
have a brand new crown that I haven't
ooh,
shown
cool.
anybody yet.
Yeah, you look like you have one on now.
I do.
Yeah. So bring your crown, but especially bring your deck because it's an interactive show. And then that Sunday is December 28th. We're going to be talking about the truth of general readings on YouTube. You know, you see all those YouTube channels where they're just doing general readings and things like that. Does that really drive sales? You know, we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then before you know it, we're into January 2026. Our first show of the year will be Sunday, January 4th. Hello, 2026, World Year of One, starting the year off right. So we will be kind of continuing what you talk about next week. Start
And
off right.
in what I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and bear with me, guys, is I want to do 3 months at a time of a subject. So
Ooh.
January, February, and March is all about new year, new you. New year, new you. So for January, we're going to discuss numerology, but not just any numerology. We're going to discuss the world and personal year for everybody. And
Uh-huh.
then we're going to discuss the power name because those two things don't get talked about very much.
Not much, no.
So we're going to talk about the power name because a lot of people, they love their name, they hate their name, they want to change their name.
Mm.
Um, so let's talk about it. I think it'll be fun. And then February is all about self love. And March is going to be about gratitude and compassion. New year, new you. What have you learned from January to March?
Oh, yeah. And I just remembered something because um I put January 4th, but actually the first show is going to be your show on Saturday the 3rd. This is actually a big change that we're doing. So I had some changes with my schedule, with meetings for the American Legion and so forth. And we're going to be doing our meetings on the third Saturday. So Michelle's shows up to now have been the second, third, and fourth Saturdays. We're going to move her third Saturday show to the first Saturday. So basically, Michelle will be on the first Saturday, the second, and the fourth.
Yes.
And there'll be no show on the third. If there's a fifth Saturday, we will do a Psychic Cafe live show.
Woohoo. That's going
Yeah.
to be fun.
So be sure to tune in tomorrow, lead magnets, and don't forget to grab us a cup of coffee.
Yes. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We would appreciate that. Okay. So I am going to do a general read since there's not a whole lot going on in the chat. Let's do a general card, a general reading. Look at that. I've already got cards falling out. Yeah, it's very quiet in there. But that's okay. The replay will be just as awesome. Ashes, ashes. Okay, I got the Seven of Cups, Temperance, and the Nine of Cups. I really love this deck. But don't ask me what I did with the box because I don't know. Because I've been keeping it in this really pretty red bag. It's silk. It's really pretty and soft. So I keep this deck in there. And I've forgotten the name of the deck, but it's very modern. So here's the Seven of Cups. There's some choices to be made. They're all available. All these choices are available. However, before you make that choice, there is temperance. So you need to make sure you are balanced. You need to make sure that whichever choice you make is going to keep you on the path of not falling one way or the other. Okay. The next card I got is the Nine of Cups. Your choice, whichever choice you make, it's going to be good. It's going to be okay. The Nine of Cups, look at his plate. His plate is full. He made his choice and he is happy. So what about your new deck? Oh, that was Dan. Okay. So the choice you make is going to be good as long as it keeps you in balance and doesn't knock you off of your path one way or the other too far. Okay. So don't overthink your choice. Wow, that's glasses, right? That's a nice that it really is a beautiful deck. I wish I knew what I did with the box. I'm not happy with myself. Like here is the Chariot. And here is the size. Like it is hard for me to shuffle. I can. I like strength. Strength is really pretty. Strength, it's the girl, but it has lions. Oh, yes. Dan, thank you. So this is one of the new decks that I absolutely just love. Here's the Empress. So this is the deck I'll be using for a little while. I also got another new deck of cards. I am so excited. So is my granddaughter. I got Wizard Pets Tarot, the ABCs by Pamela Steele. Okay. It comes with, pull out the deck in a moment, the beautiful book that, of course, is signed. Look at that. And it tells, like the Four of Cups, be careful what you ask for. Three of Cups, true friendships bring true joy. Look at this. Beautiful. It also comes with a coloring book. I love it. Look at that. I get to color all of these. Okay, now we put all of this away. Back up here. Because her cards, she sent me this beautiful bag to put the cards in. And which I still will do. Let me see here, but at the moment, my granddaughter was playing with them and put them in this bag. Okay, oh, here's the death card. I think my granddaughter's favorite card for some reason is the Six of Cups. She kept repeating Six of Cups. And she's only 4, but she knows that tarot cards are very special. And you got to be very careful. Okay, here's the Seven of Cups. Okay. And then trying to see if I can find some of the same cards. The Five of Pentacles. Oh, nope, the Five of Swords. And look at how tiny these are. These are small. Miss Pamela Steele is amazing. This this deck is awesome. My kids absolutely love this. There's the Five of Cups. And I love the Tower card. It's just beautiful. So when I do tarot for children, I will be using this little deck because it is amazing. And some kids actually do tarot. Some parents actually do let us, and it's amazing. It's fun. So, Pamela Steele, I love it. Let's see what's going on in the chat. No questions yet, so okay. Oh, it is on sale. Okay. For $22.72. And that is amazing because the Steel Wizard deck is beautiful. I have her other deck here. Here is the Queen of Cups out of her Steel Wizard deck. This is Pamela Steele, Seven of Cups. There we go. Here's our Seven of Cups. And then we've got the Page of Swords. So she has some amazing decks that are just beautiful. Oops, something popped up on my screen there. Okay, so that is Pamela Steele's Pamela Steele's cards. Now, and then, oh, the back of these cards that I'm using now, that has the lifeline on it. And I do appreciate the modernness of these cards. I think that it is just, look at the Knight of Cups on this card. They're very glossy. They're easy. I think they're easy to shuffle. I mean, other than the size, that's nothing but a thing. I can still rifle shuffle. I'm good. Okay. This might be one of the shortest shows we've had yet, but there's still no action too much going on in the chat. No questions in the chat. Oh, is that her pets deck? No, that was her Steel Wizard deck. Her pets deck is the tiny one. Yes, early endings are fine. I agree with that. So, with that being said, I believe that's about where we are at. Last call for questions. If there's any, feel free to put them in. Don't forget tomorrow, We were talking about lead magnets. I'm really excited because now I want one. uh, all right, guys. Thank you for being here, and I will see everybody tomorrow.